We are live. Joining me, we've got the Squid,
All
and
day.
we've got Devin, also known as RedLightAnime. Um,
Shh, be quiet. OliveGrummer is screaming.
yeah, so we've got that going on. Red Light, what was the other thing you stream? What was Gladius? Is that what you said you stream off
Uh,
of?
I just stream like my gamer tag is Validus, but I just stream like Fortnite, so
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
just like gaming stuff. But I don't really focus on that. I just focus on my channel.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. I know. If anyone wants to check your channel out, I will put a link in the description after the podcast. We just wanted to hurry up and get this thing started. How was everyone's Sunday so far?
I mean, woke up, finished watching Pacific Rim 2
Mm-hmm.
Uprising. God was watching it last night, fell asleep on it, finished watching it this morning. Watched part of The Foreigner, fell asleep on that. Uh, ran, that was great. Walked my dog. Went to her hibachi place with my fam for because my sister's birthday was Friday,
Mm-hmm.
and then came back here.
Yeah, chill day, chill day.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Okay, so let me answer one of the chat questions. It's early because it's a podcast, and it's Sunday because I usually like to stream on Sundays. I just procrastinate on work. Um, yeah, we're gonna talk about the Avengers Infinity War towards the end of the
You watched
podcast.
it?
So we'll save like the last 15 minutes towards that. So I'll put like a spoiler warning and stuff like that. So we'll hold off on there and then talk about it towards the end so that way people can leave if they haven't seen it yet and don't want to get spoiled. Red Light, what about your Sunday? How was your day?
I woke up. I watched anime. I went to my grandma's. What is it? Her birthday. I
Mm-hmm.
came back home, played Fortnite, and now I'm here. So
Yeah,
pretty boring day, kind of.
just a chill day for sure. Hello everyone for joining. Hello, hello. Um, Dude, I haven't had s'mores in a while. Speaking of what some people are saying in the comments, but
Be honest with you, I think I've had s'mores maybe 2 times in my whole life.
really,
Yeah, not often.
Probably haven't had it in like 10 years, honestly, since I was like a little kid.
I think
Like,
I
like
think the last time I had it was when we made them on the oven, or whenever I made them on the oven.
yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, it was just like I'm gonna make them, so I did.
I was gonna, I was gonna say, yeah, I mean, s'mores are just really like a camping food and like a camp food and stuff like that. Like, people don't really make them outside of like fires and stuff. And then, yeah,
Yeah, my nerdy ass does not go camping, so.
Yeah.
I've been camping. I think I've been camping for sure one time, maybe more than that,
Did
but for
you?
sure one.
You didn't go with us when the team went, did you? I don't remember.
No, no, I didn't go. I didn't go the time whenever it was like Corey, Joe, and them. I didn't go then, and then I didn't go when Chase almost died.
Yeah, yeah. The only time I went was when Chase almost died.
Oh, that's hilarious.
That was interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. So this is something I wanted to tell you about because remember when you and I were talking about how I started getting worse allergies now?
Yeah,
Um, I think I figured out what it was. It was I
the
know like
games.
2 summers ago I used to do like yard work a lot. Like I would cut the grass um on these like properties and different houses and stuff like that and just constantly cut the grass. And then each time I would cut the grass, I would feel worse and worse. So I think my
Yeah,
body just got an overload of pollen and was like, yeah, you're not going to like this anymore. So now it's just miserable
because
for me.
all allergies are basically your body's like, hey, you see that random harmless thing that shouldn't bother you at all and is not poisonous to the human body normally.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to kill you every time it touches you.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think happened to me. It was just like too much overload. You're just going to hate it now.
Yeah, it's like I mean like iodine, botulinum toxide, toxide, stank venom, all those neurotoxins, hemotoxins, all that. Like, yeah, all that's dangerous to the human body. Strep ain't.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I just gotta say this to G Boy. I have not been on Instagram in a while, so I'll have to go check him out for sure. Speaking of which, did you guys see the video I posted about all the goodies I got from Free Comic Book Day?
Nah, I have not. When you hit me with that text or whatever, I was already out.
That's all good. I mean, it was not, like, I won't ruin it. I'll just make sure people actually watch the video.
Can I minimize Discord and then go to YouTube?
Yeah, you should be able to.
Alright, I just minimized it. Y'all can still hear me?
Yeah, we're good.
Alright, cool.
Red Light should have been like, no, I can't hear you.
Wait, what's Comic Book Day?
It's like Free Comic Book Day, so I guess it's like not worldwide, but at least nationwide, where popular comic book publishers publish like a free copy of just X amount of different comics. So like I got a My Hero Academia comic, for example, and like Avengers one and Spider-Man one, but it's just specifically published to be handed out for free.
Okay.
And different locations have like different events. So I know like the one that was in my hometown is there were these 3 artists. Oh wow, that was somebody in a motorcycle just drove by. But 3 artists, and each one, one dude sold his work, and the other ones gave like free drawings, like hand drawings, and I thought it was absolutely amazing. Like just the time it took and how talented they were and stuff like that. So I mean, I showed in my little video, but it was awesome for real. But I think next year everyone should go.
My bro, huh?
What?
Oh, my fault. Yeah, my bro and my sister and his kids went to Free Comic Book Day at a shop in Somerville. They got some stuff.
Really?
Actually, the creators of this comic called Amazing Age were there.
Yeah, for me, it was the creator of something called like Weird Uncle or Creepy Uncle or something like that. I don't know. And then this other like web comic that's gonna be printed soon too. Like the card's on the other side of the room. I just don't feel like getting it, to be honest with you. But so there were 2 creators there. All 3 of them were artists as well, and then 2 of them were local, which I thought was pretty cool.
Yeah, that's sick.
That's pretty dope.
You got a My Hero one, you said?
Yeah, it's got My Hero Academia and Ruby in the same issue.
I love My Hero so much.
Oh man, it's good. I think I'm gonna start reading the manga just to get ahead of the anime. I don't feel like waiting, to be honest.
I read like so much manga, it's like sickening. So like, and I'm not caught up on that one because it's like I don't want to read it, but then again, I really want to read it.
That's exactly how I am. Because once I catch up, I'm like, oh man.
That's the real question.
Yeah. I like watching it. So.
Let me pause that topic. We can talk about which manga you read. Does anyone read, or not read, but oh goodness, the dub of DBS? Is anyone watching the DBS dub? Because I honestly have not watched it.
I've watched it, yeah.
Is it?
Wait,
Do you enjoy it?
Yeah, it's really good. It's like it's top quality. It's actually really amazing. It's everybody does a good job. Like Goku obviously is amazing. Vegeta obviously amazing. Like everybody's really good. And yeah, I mean the dubbed is on par with Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean you can just kick back and watch it. It's just really chill. It's really good.
Okay, because I know Super Mecha Frieza, one of the things that she said was that they changed the words a little too much for her, which I can understand that, but
it's like I don't know, it's like it wouldn't make sense if you said it in the way the Japanese put it.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess. So they just like change it around sometimes, but then other times they like unnecessarily change it around.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it's still enjoyable, you know. It's not like it's a huge deal or anything. You can sit down and still enjoy the show for what it is.
Mhm. Yeah. And that's
Yeah,
good to hear.
that, that's like the real thing for any dub, whatever. It's just that like there's no direct translation. You know, a lot
Yeah.
of times it's not a direct translation for the Japanese to the English. So, I mean, sometimes they do really good jobs. Like, you know, obviously a classic like Cowboy Bebop did a really good job of translating the words over, and there's
Yeah.
not really, you know, real big differences, whatever. And then
Cowboy
but sometimes,
Bebop's amazing.
yeah, it's great. It's one of my favorite animes of all time. Uh, but sometimes they get this free with it. It's like, well, you know, there's not a direct translation, so we're just gonna make him say something that's not right at all.
Yeah.
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 Like a good example, talking about Dragon Ball Z. Whenever Goku went 2% for the first time, and he had like that big speech, like, "Oh, I'm like the protector of light, and what was all good in the universe, stuff like that." Blah blah. That's wrong because we all know Goku. And Goku is none of those things. Goku doesn't protect light or any of that. Goku's just looking to fight.
Yeah.
Like
True.
half the time. Like he protects his friends, and he's gonna stop like from like any crazy killing from happening. But he's not like this instant transmission across the universe. Like, hey, y'all got problems? Y'all need some food? Like, that's not Goku. Like, he's not Superman.
Yeah. That's true for sure. Um, anime JT Shadow says this. Other than her streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time, which I totally agree. Um, she says we should go to an anime expo, or to anime expo specifically that. What would be your thoughts? I mean, I personally wouldn't mind, but I also would. I don't have like a big enough knowledge. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty sure Devin got it right now. But my anime knowledge has definitely, as you know, I've been on my anime game for like the last like really college kind of killed my anime game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean,
If I,
I'm behind on everything.
if I could go to an anime convention, I would not pass it up. There's supposed to be like a tour for the Dragon Ball series. It's like Dragon Ball American tour or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, you haven't heard about that? It's just like
No.
a tour. They're doing 7 locations, I believe,
Is
around
that
America.
does that have anything to do with Kame-Con or
No,
whatever?
no. It's a totally different thing.
Okay.
It's like
Yeah.
they have it in California right now, and I think the other one is in Texas, I want to say. I don't know. I haven't looked at the website in a while, but it's going to be on. If you're anywhere in the country, you can easily get to one within like a couple hours drive, or maybe like a couple hour flight. But
Mm-hmm.
they're doing 7 locations, so like I'm gonna try to actually go to the one. I'm thinking they're gonna do one in Chicago, but it's like not disclosed yet. So it's either gonna be in Chicago or Detroit or like Indianapolis, one of those big cities in like the Midwest.
Yeah,
So I really want to go to one of those like bad. So
Yeah, I feel you.
that'd be awesome.
I mean, like definitely somebody like, hey, you want to go to an anime convention? Like, of course, but like, I mean, I'm like behind on Boruto right now. I haven't watched the second season of Attack on Titan.
oh no,
Yeah, I haven't watched Devilman Crybaby. What else? What else am I bad at? I mean, I'm the only thing I keep up with at the moment is One Piece in chapters. Not
And that's
even anime.
reading, yeah.
Yeah, cause I can't watch One Piece anime unless it's a fight.
Mm-hmm. I have a huge list that I'm behind on. Like I'll just say the only thing I'm caught up on currently is just My Hero Academia technically, and that's just because I'm only like 2 episodes behind. But that's why I said technically, since they're releasing every week. I guess Super I'm caught up on all the way just because it's over now, and One Piece
I'm,
anime I'm not. I stopped watching that.
I mean, the simple fact with One Piece anime is that they're catching up to the current manga type, chapter so quickly that they have to, slow down the episodes. And the pacing for One Piece anime is just trash. And like great material, obviously, because it's One Piece.
Yeah.
Pacing's trash, and like with everything, pacing's very important.
But I mean, you can blame them, but you can't at the same time. It's just one of those
Yeah,
things
exactly.
where they don't want to catch up to the manga so quickly. But I mean, they should have. Well, I mean, they waited a while, but still.
I mean, simple fact of the matter is, it's like I call it like a. Well, it's not actually a Kevin Hart situation. I was about to say a Kevin Hart situation, but it's actually like it's a situation. You know, the 15 minutes of fame. You know,
Hmm.
when you're a manga artist, you know, when manga, wait, is it manga or manga? You know, when you're an artist, when you make manga, you know, or manga, whatever. Uh, you don't know how long, especially with showing up. You don't know how long you're gonna be relevant. You know,
Hmm.
like Taikito, the creator of Bleach. Hopefully, I'm saying his name right. But the creator of Bleach, he wanted like a whole French. You know, he wanted like a whole French arc. He wanted like several more arcs of Bleach before it ended. It's just, you know, the numbers dropped off, his health dropped off. You know, he couldn't really push like the way he wanted to. You know, Bleach is like 20% fillers or 15% fillers or something crazy high number. You know, and it just fell off, and he didn't know. But I mean, he obviously got his money. Bleach is, you know, one of the traditional big three.
Hmm.
Ichiro didn't know how long One Piece was gonna last. He's out here, you know, and he's like, "Oh, do you want an anime?" Who's gonna say no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
The
So,
bad part about the Bleach thing is like the fillers weren't even enjoyable, in my
oh
opinion.
my god, they were so bad.
Yeah, they're very boring.
I don't know anything
They were
about it.
so
I'm
bad.
glad.
One Piece has bad fillers. Naruto has bad fillers, but like
I like
Naruto towards
Naruto
the end,
fillers though.
huh?
I enjoy the Naruto fillers a lot though.
Yeah,
People
towards
hate on
the
them,
end,
but they're actually really I like them.
yeah, towards the end, Naruto fillers got a lot better because their fillers were fillers. Their fillers were basically just like exposition and backstory.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was like, y'all want to know what Kakashi did? You know, when he was, you know, after his dad died, and before the fox attack. This is it. Like they showed you everything about Kakashi or everything about Jiraiya, or you know, they gave you useful information. Bleach fillers, they was just doing random shit.
Yeah.
And I mean, even though I love Ichigo and I love Bankai, I love Shinkai's and Bankai's and Zanpakutos and Kido and Flash. I love Bleach. You know, Shinigami, I love Bleach. Bleach, you know, Bleach at its prime, I enjoyed more than One Piece and Naruto. I don't even feel bad about that. It's just, you know, it. I mean, yeah, it's just like, you know, for whatever reason, a lot of fillers, a lot of bad fillers, and the anime didn't continue going on. You know, it sucks. I mean, I'm definitely a person that want, you know, the Thousand Year Blood War, you know, animated for sure. But that's probably not gonna happen.
Yeah, the only thing I can basically contribute to this for filler is like One Piece specifically, just because of my experience. Some of the filler is good because I didn't know it was filler until I started reading some of the manga. So it's one of those things where it's just like I didn't realize it was filler until later on, just kind of growing up watching it. But then there was one filler more recently that was just so bad. I seriously like that's actually why I stopped watching the anime. Like the filler was so bad that I just couldn't power. Like I powered through it kind of, and then I was like, you know what? I can't watch it anymore. That's when you know it's such a bad episode or episodes of filler where I was just like, this is ridiculous.
Yeah, like for sure, that's how it kind of goes.
But then
What I was gonna say, go ahead.
I was gonna say that, but then the problem with like, okay, so these long series have a lot of fillers, right?
Hmm.
But
Yeah,
then these short series that only can get muster up what the 12 episoders, like the 24 episoders, those will be like rushed. So it's like, would you rather have a ton of filler and the story be, you know, well animated, well put together when it gets to the story, or would you rather it be 12 episodes but kind of rush through it? So,
I'd
yeah,
rather
I
have
like it.
filler.
I think there's a sweet spot a lot of times. You
Hmm.
know, I feel like some anime find it. I feel
yeah,
like, for examples, obviously we just talked about it, Cowboy Bebop. I think Cowboy Bebop
Yeah.
found that sweet spot. I think Brotherhood found that sweet spot.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I
Definitely,
think
those are just two off the top of my head. That definitely, they're not long anime for the most part. Cowboy Bebop is 26 episodes, I believe, and Brotherhood's like 62-ish.
Hmm.
You can watch them pretty quick. I mean, you can knock them out, within like 2 days easy. If you really want to, if you really stay on it, especially if you have nothing to do. And they're great anime. They're just not just flash and bang. They're just very solid anime. But I mean, but I know what you're talking about though. Like, yeah, I mean, One Piece is probably gonna go down as like the greatest anime of all time eventually. But
I think it's balanced.
you know, One Piece.
Yeah, just the reason being, it's because it's, if you think about it, they only have filler just about in between each arc.
Yeah.
With that being said, there's a lot of arcs, and there's a lot of time spent in those arcs, especially more recently than not.
Yeah. I mean, that's always a problem. Like I was saying with like the 15 minutes of fame thing. It's like if you've been writing the manga for like 2 years or whatever, and you're like, you're on like chapter like 100 or 85 or 90, depending on how many breaks you took and things of that nature. And then somebody's like, hey, bro, we're gonna make an anime. Obviously you're going for the money because manga is hard to do. It's very grueling.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the goal of it or whatever. But eventually, especially if you have a good anime that everybody likes and you keep on writing, eventually you go into a problem. And Dragon Ball Z ran into that problem too. So what Dragon Ball Z did, where animation to slow it down, they just yelled for 3 minutes. They yelled for 3 minutes. They fought for like 2 hours and they made 5 minutes into 2 hours. That's what they did. Full Metal Alchemist, the first Full Metal Alchemist, they just changed stuff because they didn't want to wait up for it. The manga artists, they want to wait up for it, so they changed it. And obviously, it didn't pan out that well. Obviously, there was something good there. Obviously, it didn't pan out that well. And obviously, real fans of Full Metal Alchemist, were like, "Hey, you got to make this again." And people were basically with it. Then Brotherhood was made, and as we know, Brotherhood is often on many top 10 lists, top 100 lists. Either like 2 or 1.
Yeah, it's definitely really good.
Yeah, consistently. So,
I do have.
I would say
Go
about
ahead.
the Dragon Ball thing is like, the fights did stretch them out a little bit too long, but it's like, I miss that like old school power ups. You know what I mean? Like where they
Agreed.
scream and stuff. It's just like I feel like you get more invested in it. Like you're more excited with like the suspense of the scream, and it just feels like they have more power going into things.
yeah, they build it up, make it more gratifying.
Yeah,
Sure.
you just feel like they're gonna be more powerful the longer they scream, and it's like I don't know. I just miss that, but like the fight thing was definitely an issue for me.
Well, okay. Let me interrupt just real quick. How are their voices, chat? Can you guys hear them well? Because I had their audio turned down a little bit on the recording or the streaming software. So, just let me know, chat, on how clear their voices are. I turned it up a little bit. Also, speaking of the fights, I saw this theory where it was saying that the reason why Goku and Frieza's fight lasted so long was it really did last 5 minutes, but the goal or the idea was that they were moving so quickly that the anime slowed it down. In theory, it was slower in the anime for the person's eyes to be able to comprehend and see what's going on. Which, I mean, personally, I think that's a kind of cool theory.
That's for sure too a cool theory, like definitely. But
I think they're just thinking too hard right there. Like,
Yeah.
I mean,
You
it's
know
a
what I
cool
mean?
cartoon theory for sure. But like definitely, I mean, like they tell you like the reason why like all the fights and all the screams and everything was so long was because we didn't want to catch up to the actual manga. Yeah, and then I guess the third way to deal with that is what One Piece is doing, and which I mean, like if you have 900 episodes of One Piece to watch, then it's dope. It doesn't matter because pacing doesn't matter. Then you can just watch it. You know.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, it matters, but you can still just watch it. But I mean, they just. I mean, the pacing is like the pacing's atrocious. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, like I said, I love One Piece, and out of the big three, the original big three, I think One Piece is the best one. Not my favorite, but I think it's better than Naruto, and I think it's better than Bleach. Not my favorite though.
Yeah.
But the pacing is just bad, so like I can't even watch like One Piece episodes. I tried to watch a One Piece episode, and I was like, oh my god, this is just so long, and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
hurry up. So I mean, there's a way to do it. So I mean, I don't even know what's the right way to do it. I mean, One Piece is obviously making it work, but I mean, I
I've
don't even
never
know.
watched One Piece or read it.
It's good.
I wanted to get into it, but it's like I was watching the anime, right, and it's just like it's so badly animated. Yeah, just because it's old, right?
It depends
In the
on.
beginning.
Okay, well, you got to think.
In the beginning,
Just to play devil's advocate, it started a long time ago.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like,
Yeah.
I can't like hold that against it. It's just like it's kind of almost unbearable to watch. Like
Mhm.
yeah, like old stuff is like it's pretty bad, but like I'll like watch like a lot of new stuff, and it's like you get just used to the new animation, and you're like that's what you want. So now I went back and watched One Piece, like the first arc or whatever, and
Mhm.
it's like it was just like so bad. Like, yeah, I don't know. It was just hard to watch because I was used to like amazing like animation, people flying through the sky at 1,000 miles an hour. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Ultra Instinct fights and stuff. So
Yeah, and I will say currently the anime is it's good. It is
Yeah.
very
Well,
well
like,
animated.
yeah. I mean, budgets make it happen,
Yeah, true.
and also just new technique. Is just getting better. You know, digital animating. I don't know. They probably started off with traditional animation at the beginning. You know.
Yeah.
Hmm.
but like
Yeah.
Cowboy Bebop, it's old, but that animation is good, honestly.
Agreed.
It's
That was
a
ahead of
style.
its time.
It's a style. It's the style for real.
Yeah.
It's really the style, and this, they take their time with it, because obviously, look at Studio Ghibli, a lot of their stuff is old, but when I watch Studio Ghibli, I'm just lost. I'm in the trench. They caught me.
Hmm.
I'm just in there.
You know what?
Speaking of,
Go ahead.
yeah, I was gonna, have y'all seen? I mean, I don't know. Have y'all seen the Digimon, the first one?
Yeah, I used to watch them as a
Mhm.
kid.
A new one's
Yeah,
coming
alright,
out.
cool. You said what?
A new Digimon series, not new series, but something's coming up now with what's it called? I don't remember. There's new Digimon something coming out.
I got you. I'll probably check that out. But I mean, growing up, that first movie, that was like that's my jam, bro. That's my movie. Like 100, But I was gonna say it was like Rotten Tomatoes gave that movie like a 25%.
Yeah.
Like this hurt my soul. Like to me, I mean, obviously I'm super biased and I'm really cool. I'm fine with this, with being biased on this. I watched Digimon like the first movie, and then like I just get lost in it. I get lost in the trance, and I'd like be like halfway to crying, just watching it. It's the nostalgia would be overwhelming.
That's me with Yu-Gi-Oh, honestly.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, everybody got their one, and that's definitely my one.
Oh,
Like,
dude, I love Yu-Gi-Oh. Oh man,
Yeah, I grew up on Yu-Gi-Oh, dude. It was the best.
I liked it way more. I don't know why I liked it more than Pokemon.
I did too, 100%.
Yes,
I like Yu-Gi-Oh.
I like them both.
Yu-Gi-Oh and Digimon more than Pokemon.
I'm with you on that one. I'm with you on that one.
Mine was like Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, then like barely Digimon, and then like that was about it. Then like when I got into my like teens, not like teens, but like I don't know what I was like 11 maybe something,
Mhm.
12. Then I would come home, maybe catch a little DBZ on the TV, and then go outside and play with my friends.
Yeah.
I got you. Like, oh yeah. I mean, everybody has like that one nostalgic movie that kind of brings them back to time.
Oh,
Pulling
yeah.
back or whatever.
I didn't
Yeah,
actually
and-
start grinding like Dragon Ball. Like when I was a kid, I would catch an episode here and there,
Mhm.
but like I didn't actually start grinding Dragon Ball until I was like in high school.
I mean, it
That's like-
happens.
I never appreciated it, you know what I mean? It was just like a show on TV. And then I was like, my friend was like really into it, and I was like, oh, I used to watch that when I was a kid. I used to love it. And he was like, oh, you just go to blah 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 anime site, and then here's all the episodes. I was like, oh, bet. I just watched them all, and then ever since then, I've just been in love with everything. Dragon Ball, at least.
I got you. Well, I was gonna say, it's a show I talk about sometimes, and literally, I have not found out how to pronounce the show's name correctly ever. But it's called S Cried. It's
Mm-hmm.
S dash cry dash ed I. You know,
Yeah.
but it's definitely one of my favorite anime of all time. And yeah, and that's I don't know. Like what got me into anime was definitely. I mean, I probably talked about it a lot of times, but it was definitely my brother. Probably
Yeah.
was. I remember like being a kid, literally sitting in basically the spot I'm sitting at right now, because
Mm-hmm.
I've had the same room my whole life in the same bed frame. Yeah, my whole life. So yeah, I remember like and my dad tucking me in when I was like 5, and then I know my brother like I think I heard him watching Dragon Ball Z, and I was like I want to watch that too. And then my dad was like, "What channel now?" Yeah, asked my brother what channel it was on, and 53 is the channel for Adult Swim where I'm from.
Yeah.
So turned Adult Swim, watch Dragon Ball Z, and that's it. Like basically me and my brother watching Dragon Ball Z. Like I don't know if y'all remember this, but back in the day, you couldn't go on the internet and just find a whole series or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I was
Like
talking about. It's like you just mix match, like you just get random episodes.
Yeah.
yeah, you couldn't find a whole series back in the day. Like I mean, whoa, back in the day when we went on the internet to find the series, like you could find the series, but you couldn't watch them all together, right?
Hmm.
So anime websites used to put limits on how much you can watch because they were stopping the load on their site, right? So like people had limits to watch watch like 3 a day. Like the limits on old titles used to be 3 a day, right? So me and my brother used to watch, we used to watch 3 episodes of Bleach a day, and then stop and just do that because the website would kick you off or whatever. And like even then the website had such heavy traffic that the website had such heavy traffic is that like it'd take like 30 minutes to an hour to load one episode.
Yeah.
Like that was back in the day. Like they used to do that, or whatever. And then Toonami with Cowboy Bebop and Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball Z and all these different things. Toonami used to be the move back in the day.
Agreed.
Yeah. And now now you can just Crunchyroll membership, or you can bootleg it off the internet, and you can just kill 40 episodes in a day. No problem.
Which
That's
I
not
think is
life.
great. Oh
Yeah.
no, that has not been asked yet, Xanax. Okay, let me say one thing real quick. Anime JT Shadow says I was gonna say read my story, but I still need more chapters. Squid and I actually not watched it. We read it the other day, or we read some of it the other day. And then also, which anime series did you read first? So
The first manga.
yeah, I mean for me it would be One Piece, but for if you're talking about watching, I guess it would have been I I don't know because I didn't know they were anime at the time. Like I didn't know this was anime.
Exactly.
I thought it
Yeah.
was just Saturday morning cartoons. So it would have been
Yeah.
like Pokemon,
Peasant.
Yu-Gi-Oh, something along those lines for me personally.
Well, technically speaking, I don't know. I mean, I don't know which technically what was the actual first line of a manga I've read, what series it was. But I remember going to Buy Low and Food Lion, all these places and going to the Book Owl, because all of them have like a little book section, and going and seeing Shonen Jump, and then opening Shonen Jump, and looking
Hmm.
at stuff. So it could have been Yu-Gi-Oh, it could have been Dragon Ball Z, it could have been Naruto, could have been any of that. And I remember my brother gave me 2 mangas from Samurai Champloo.
Yeah.
I
I
read
meant to.
those.
Dang it. Sorry to cut you off. I meant to reply to that one chat specifically for Twitch, and it replied to all. So.
What I was gonna say, but probably the manga I started reading habitually, the first one,
Hmm.
probably Naruto. Actually, Naruto and Bleach was both of them at the same time in college. That's when I really started reading manga.
Yeah. What about you, Red Light?
The first manga I ever read, think it was the same situation. I don't really know the name of it, but it was just a manga in my middle school library.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And so I like picked it up and I just read it, and I don't know what it was, but like that was the first one I ever remembered like reading, but I don't know the name. But the first manga I ever read that I know the name of, it was Naruto. I it was either Naruto or Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But,
I heard changing lives.
yeah. So.
Yeah, for
But
me,
the first anime.
I may have picked something up and looked at it, and I guess technically it would have been uh, reading my first manga, but still, it's just one of those things where um, I don't know. I guess the one that I like specifically recall saying, okay, I'm gonna read this was One Piece when I caught up in the anime. I caught up, and then Squid was like, hey, this is where you're at on this chapter. Now you can read and catch up.
Oh yeah, because I was reading before you.
Yeah, yeah. I was watching. You
I
were
was
reading.
Yeah, I was watching. Yeah, you were watching. I was reading. And yeah, I remember finishing Naruto like the 700th chapter, number 700, like a minute before Naruto finished, and then right after that, I jumped on One Piece, and then I read all of One Piece like quick, like in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I caught up with it or whatever, like in a month, which is I guess the one thing about manga. Manga disappeared. It's really easy to catch up with. It's really easy to, really to catch up with. It's really easy, because manga are usually way more direct. Anime, good and bad, add extra stuff. Sometimes it's for the, sometimes it's for the worse, sometimes it's for the better.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Anyway, my first anime I ever watched, I didn't know it was technically anime, I guess, and it was Sonic. So.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Sonic too.
On Sonic X.
Yeah, I think so. I think
Yeah,
there was one on
like
TV.
all of them came on this like Saturdays, so I don't know which one was technically first, but I watched all of them at the same time.
Yeah, I watched Sonic, I watched Yu-Gi-Oh, and then I watched Pokemon.
Yeah.
And then like later
Me
at
and you
like
saying
10
about-
or 11 a.m. and then it'll start playing like the Disney stuff. So like That's So Raven.
Yeah.
Like, what's it called? Sweet Life of Zack and Cody.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like the, I guess it would be anime first, and then it would be like Disney after or whatever that is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, correct.
Team 7 versus Kaguya was a nice fight. I don't know anything about that one.
Wait, Team 7 versus who?
Kaguya.
Yeah.
Kaguya? Oh yeah, that was wild.
Yeah.
Kaguya, that was pretty wild. You seen that meme? It's like Team 7 at 100% power, and it's like Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura, and it's like Team 7 at 99% power, and it's Sasuke and Naruto. And
Yeah.
In the comments, under it, the comments like, "Oh, I see, Sasuke lost his sword."
Oh yeah.
There's totally no, but no Sakura. Like I don't know how far you got on Boruto, or you're watching Boruto at all. But Boruto, one of like the first early episodes, like Sakura fights a dude named Shin.
That was a good fight. That was actually really really amazingly animated.
It was amazingly animated, but Sakura was giving my man the hands. They were going back and forth hard.
Yeah, she definitely got more powerful.
Yeah, and she was really about this life. I'm telling you, she was giving. Woo, it's crazy. Speaking of craziness, right? I don't know if y'all know this. This might be a little bit too dated for y'all, but y'all ever heard of an anime called Rurouni Kenshin?
Nope.
Mm-mm.
No. All right. Yeah. But it's the anime called Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin is about a samurai that fought in because Japan's history is like if y'all ever like look up Japanese history.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
It's crazy. No, it's crazy. It's a bunch of crazy wars, stuff like that. A bunch of shoguns and pirates, and it's crazy. It's crazy. But no, there's the anime basically starts that I guess it's a civil war. I don't know what's happening, but it's a kid, like a young prodigy, like 16 years old. But it's a monster with a sword. Like crazy samurai. He's just a murderer. Doesn't care, right? But for whatever reason, he just like finds a conscience. Like he gets pushed too far and he finds a conscience. He's like, I can't do this no more. So after that, he basically just starts chilling. and he instead of using the front side of his blade, he uses the back side of his blade. So instead of cutting you to pieces, he just hits you really, really hard with a metal stick. Because that's much better.
Fair enough.
And yeah, the story is like basically about him meeting this girl that teaches a certain form of of sword fighting, and he gets friends, blah blah, and he fights just like the syndicate, and it's crazy. But Ronan Kenshin is definitely a classic. But when I'm talking about craziness, is that matter of fact, the dude that made Ronan Kenshin, he actually mentored Ichiro Oda. He was Ichiro Oda's mentor.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah, right. And like Ichiro Oda, One Piece monster. Yeah, but in like recently, like fairly recently, like end of 2017, recently, the police found like child pornography in his apartment or whatever, and like they found child pornography I think in his office. They found child pornography in his office that he like does manga with, like his manga office, and then they raided his house and they found like more stuff.
Damn, that's crazy.
Like, that's wild. And I think, and my brother told me this. I don't know exactly how true this is, but he told me this because he was reading something at the time when he was telling me this, and I was also looking at it myself. But he said that the dude in a statement, to the police officers, said, "I like girls from ages." I think he said ages at elementary school to the second year of junior high.
That's whoa.
And he's married and like everything, married, kids, all that.
That's wild.
I know in Japan it's like the age of like consent or whatever. It's like really young, so it's like over there it's like not weird to like date younger girls, but like obviously it's weird.
Yeah.
Like, yes,
But
I mean, not trying to get too deep in this because this is not what this podcast is about, or this channel's about at all. We just talk about random stuff a lot of times too. But I was gonna say, but like, if you think about all that stuff, it's like when you really start thinking about ages of consent and all of that, and this animal, other animals and evolution and stuff like that, and what when other animals thinks is cool, and then it gets really weird, It's really, really weird.
yeah.
Yeah. No, it's true.
I mean, I just think if you're like attracted to that stuff, you just need to go get help. Honestly, that would be your best bet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, yeah, I feel you. For the most part, that's I mean, because because any other animal is like first blood. If y'all know what I mean, it's free game. But with humans, first blood is like, nah, you're going to jail, homie. Like it's freaking crazy. I don't know, it's crazy. It's just really crazy, But let's get off that topic. But yeah, still, but one of a mentor to one of the greatest manga artists of all time, definitely got charged with child pornography, charges.
Just want to throw that out there.
Like that's crazy.
What was I about to say? Oh, okay. So there's a question chat has for you. About
Who's you?
You, Squid.
Yeah.
Crap. Okay, so basically, oh wait. Before that, I know the anime you were talking about earlier, with like the wars and stuff like that. I think I saw something on it on a Watch Mojo. That's why it sounds familiar. But especially, Xanax mentioned this earlier. But what was that girl's name in the cafeteria that said she was a 7 or an 8?
Catherine.
Yeah. Do you wanna tell that story?
You said what?
Do you want to tell that story? Because it came up the other day on the stream.
All right. All right. That's what I'm saying. All right. This what happened. All right. Cool. I'm as OliveGrummer knows all too well. My senior year of college, it was this chick I met like in the very beginning of college, right? That I just fell stupid hard for, and basically caused me a lot of grief and a lot of pain and a lot of problems that I could have avoided easily, and I kind of knew it, but it ain't the point. But the table that she used to sit, I mean, like not like probably like set like 60% of the time, I would sit with with OliveGrummer and all our friends, and all the runners and all the athletes and all that, and then the other like 40, probably less than that, I would sit with this girl and her friends or whatever. Well, one of her friends This is a weird table, by the way. It was a super weird table because I was the cool person at this table, and if you know me, that's weird. So I was a cool person at this table, whatever. And, you know, sitting with this girl, or whatever. And one of the girls that used to sit there was a girl named Catherine. And Catherine, for like the most part, is pretty cool. Like, you know, I ain't trying to hate on Catherine at all. You know, part of Cope, she was cool. You know, no problems. But I forgot exactly what happened, but it was like they were talking about like music or whatever. And like one of the dudes came up, like one of the dudes, like one of the artists came up, and she was like, "Oh, he's really, like, oh, he's kind of cute, but he's really cute." I was like, he's like, she was like saying something. She was like saying something along those lines about him being cute, and I was like, me, I'm like, oh, he's like me, right? I was like, oh, like me, I got it, blah blah, whatever, right? And then she looked at me, like she looked at me weird, and I was like, what? Like, why are you looking at me like that? She's like, oh. I was like, no, I think I said, like, I'm just joking. And she's like, oh, yeah, like, you're not really that cute or whatever. I was like, what? No, it was like this. She looked at me weird, and I was like, why are you looking at me like that? You think I'm ugly or something like that? And then she was like, nah, you're not ugly, but you're not cute, right? And she said that, and I was like, oh, you know me. I was like, oh, I was hurt. So, I was like, I was like, word. I was like, that's crazy. And I was like, oh, I'm not cute. I said, well, what do you think you are? And then she was like, oh, I'm a 7. And like I said, Catherine's cool and all, but on everything, she ain't no 7.
No, not at all.
So in my mind, I was like, bitch, like you called me not cute, but you 7. All right, cool.
It was.
Right. You're supposed to rate yourself, honestly.
There you go, Xanax. I agree.
Yeah, I was like, what? Like, nah, no. I was like, nah, you're not. And I told I told OliveGrummer and Dr. Tanimal later, and then I told them later, and they died, and then I was gonna say, and then like a couple months, like a month ago, on the stream with me, OliveGrummer, and Dr. Tanimal. No, actually, no. Then Dr. Tanimal brought it up randomly, like in Snapchat, right? No, it was a call. It was a conference call.
Oh, yeah.
It was a conference call, and he was like, bro, we was talking about attractiveness in class, and he was like, talking about attractiveness in class. And he said, I just kept on remembering, oh, there's up for 7, and said she wasn't cute, and how you just went off on her. What you talking? Yeah, I don't know, man. I miss college, man.
I miss the group. I don't miss college.
Yeah, I miss the group. I mean, yeah, I miss you, obviously Don Tanimal. I miss Phyllis. I miss Devin. I miss, Mark, all them. All of them. Like, Ethan, run it all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. She didn't really rate him. She didn't give him a rating. Anime. She's asking what she rated you.
Yeah, she didn't give me a rating or anything like that. But just for information, just put it out in the ethos or whatever. But the girl that I was following around, like I shouldn't have been really talking to at the time, she did say I was a 7. So
and that's what counts.
That's what counts. So I run with it.
Okay, so I think it's about that time where we can give a quick spoiler warning for those who have not seen Avengers Infinity War. This is your warning. Do not watch anymore until after you have watched Avengers Infinity War. I'm going to continue warning you guys so you can get the message. But yeah, this is the warning again for the however many times I have to say it, because people will be like, why didn't you warn us? No, this is the warning. But once you watch the movie, come back at exactly 49 minutes of this podcast, episode 28, S'mores Podcast, and you can join in on the conversation in the comments. But overall, okay, I'm gonna get your ideas, because I think what I'm gonna do is record, like, how, I don't know if you noticed, but I know like chat knows how I do this, where I have a live reaction and then I hit record for my review and upload it separately. So I
Yeah,
might
I've seen you.
do that.
Yeah, I've seen you do
Uh,
that before.
so it'll be a segment of the podcast, but just uploaded separately as well. Um,
Okay.
so if are you, I mean, do you guys okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we'll do is, um, we'll introduce. Okay, I'll introduce the video and I'll say, hey, who's joining me, blah 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 blah, and then we'll just give a review of it, but we won't go into too many details until after I record just the review. And that way
Let's do it.
it's incentive for people to subscribe and join in on the live streams.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay, so for everyone in chat, you guys know the drill. I'm gonna hit recording in 3, 2, 1, and well, actually, before I hit one, I'm gonna introduce the video for you guys in the podcast. So 3, 2, 1. All right, what is up, everyone? OliveGrummer here, and as you can tell, this is a different kind of review from normal. This is just going to be a segment taken from the podcast itself. That way, if you guys just want to see our review, you don't have to go through the entire podcast. But joining me, I've got Squid. You guys know him from all of the reaction videos and
All day.
just a lot of videos in general. He's part of the S'mores cast and part of the channel and stuff like that. And I also have RedLightAnime joining me for the first time in a podcast and video, so give him a warm welcome, everyone. But we're going to go ahead and jump straight into the review for Avengers Infinity War. I'll go ahead and say what I think real quick. I thought it was very well done, obviously. It's just blowing up in the box office. The way they had us basically almost on edge the whole time to a certain degree where you think there was a calm spot, but then all of a sudden, bam, action. And then it would like go in trebles and troughs and stuff like that. And I thought it was absolutely amazing how the way they made a 2 hour, 40-minute movie not seem like 2 hours and 40 minutes. I thought that was absolutely amazing.
Agree.
Other than that, without going into too many details until after I get your ideas, we'll go into more details and specifics after I get your opinions and stuff like that. So what do you guys think? We'll start with RedLightAnime because he's the guest. So
Got you.
I thought the movie was good, but then obviously I don't want to spoil anything or like crazy, but like the ending had me shook. You know what I mean? Like I'm a big Spider-Man fan, and
Really?
let's just say, yeah, the Spidey, he wasn't seeing his brightest days at the end. So like the movie obviously was good, and I agree with you. It didn't feel like 2 hours and 40 minutes, but it's like it felt like the same old thing, kind of a Marvel movie where it's like, you know, it's a bunch of good guys fighting a bad guy, and then it's like usually the good guys win. But it's like with this one, it was like kind of like a twist. So I really like that part.
Yeah, I agree with you on that one. I had something. Oh, I do want to add real quick before Squid goes. I love that. I mean, obviously it was a high budgeted movie, so the CGI, of course, was absolutely fantastic. Squid, what are your overall thoughts? And then we'll go into more specifics once you finish that.
I mean, basically, like, it definitely kept me on my, edge of my seat. I definitely didn't know. I mean, I definitely had a lot of questions about the ending, because obviously Facebook and people putting, different memes and stuff out there. So you kind of was like, what's going to happen? I kind of already knew how the ending was going to end. I already kind of assumed it was going to be, definitely a darker ending. But, yeah, I mean, definitely it was all good for the most part. It definitely was, good. They did Thanos pretty well.
Yes.
They did Thanos pretty well. Wakanda forever. Wakanda was dope. As always. Everything's pretty cool. They kind of jumped around enough, kept you on your P's and Q's. Different situations. So you never really got burned out on one situation.
Yeah.
You just kept on moving. So yeah, it definitely Uh, Definitely top 5 Marvel movie, if not top 3, probably top 5 for sure though.
Yeah, I would definitely give this definitely up there with you as well. I agree with you on that one, and definitely would overall probably rate this movie an A. I would give this movie an A for sure.
Yeah, it's definitely it's close to 90ish, yeah, for sure. Yeah, it's close. It's close to A. I'm not sure exactly A, but it's definitely up there for me.
What about you, Red Light Anime?
I'd give it like a B plus probably,
Really?
just because I'm salty about the ending.
Fair enough.
Understandable.
Okay, so before we go into completely nitty gritty specifics, what we'll do now, since this is still recording the review, we'll hit some kind of big topics, and then we'll discuss them, and then I'll end the recording, and then we'll go into a little more detail after that. So I do want to say the Stormbreaker scenes and all that stuff was absolutely awesome. Thor was really cool. Peter Dinklage, having him as a giant dwarf was absolutely genius in my book, because he's obviously a little man in real life, and having him taller than everyone was fantastic in my opinion.
Very funny.
Yeah, and then basically, what was I gonna say? I do want to I do want to bring up a couple of things. I have a list of stuff I wanted to talk about. So, did you guys watch the end credit scene?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so we do know Captain Marvel is obviously confirmed for her
Very funny.
her standalone movie, and then she'll be in the next one coming out next year, May 3rd, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, all right. Yeah, Stormbreaker. The cool thing about Stormbreaker is this. All right. Yeah, the cool thing. Dante just hit us up in the cast.
Yeah,
The cool thing about Stormbreaker is this. I don't know if anybody that reads the comics or whatever.
it's almost exactly the same.
No, not exactly.
Well, design wise, like the light and lightning coming from him, because I watched the video on it earlier.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, Stormbreaker. Well, Stormbreaker in the comics is definitely more around the size of Menelair, and just similar size to that, and just bronze or gold colored or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But the cool thing about Stormbreaker is that there's a character called Beta Ray Bill.
Yeah.
Beta Ray Bill, and I remember in the Thor Ragnarok 3 trailer review we did, I basically said that Beta Ray Bill is practically a clone of Thor.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he's not. He's an alien. He's from a different alien species. He's a very powerful warrior. Him and Thor fought each other, in hand-to-hand combat, and they drawed. A lot of stuff happened. Gained Thor's respect.
The second time Thor lost.
I think you're correct. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Odin granted Beta Ray Bill Stormbreaker. Stormbreaker is basically just as powerful as Menelair. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Menelair, Thor's hammer. But the funny thing, and then Thor Ragnarok 3, whenever they came on the planet, which I can't, for whatever reason, can't remember at the moment the name of the planet, they had a statue of Beta Ray Bill's head on the statue of
Yeah. I saw that. Yep.
Yeah. Beta Ray Bill's head, all that stuff. But what I was going to say, Stormbreaker in the movie actually looks way more like, because Stormbreaker in the movie, obviously Stormbreaker is a bigger weapon than Menelair was. Stormbreaker is a pretty actual big hammer or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
In the movie actually was a bigger weapon. Actually, to me at least, it favored more of Thor's ultimate hammer in the Ultimate Universe. Before they made it part of the regular continuity in comics.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Ultimate Thor's hammer actually looks a lot more like the cinematic Stormbreaker than Stormbreaker looks like Stormbreaker.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And I think the reason for that is, if y'all know anything about Norse mythology, whenever Menelair was being made, I'm pretty sure it was Loki that tricked the elves to making the handle short.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it might have been a trick. I'm not sure.
I don't know this. Yeah.
It was. I think some of them have it as purposeful, others have it as a trick. But either way, the handle wasn't supposed to be that short. But I think in the Ultimate Universe in Marvel Comics, they made it like regular length. So it's like this big, awesome hammer. And yeah, but continue.
Oh, I do want to say there was one thing about the movie overall that I forgot to mention earlier was the fact that, you know, I don't want to go to too many details comparing this with Star Wars, but well, we can do it after the recording. But the one thing I didn't like about Star Wars was they had like all those cheesy one-liners that I don't know, it just didn't feel natural to me. All the one-liners in this movie that made you chuckle and laugh and stuff like that, it felt more natural. I don't know if it just I don't know why, but it felt natural to me, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, because it didn't feel forced. Because I mean, Marvel set the tone pretty early on with one-liners, especially Tony and Iron Man.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they set the tone very early on with cheesy one-liners, being smart, being a smart ass, being quippy, being quick with it. They set the tone pretty quickly. So that's just the atmosphere that they operate in. So Star Wars isn't operating that atmosphere.
Yeah, well, at least the new Star Wars, stuff like that. Like the older one didn't, but the new one it just didn't match. But
yeah.
Do you guys have any final good? I'm not gonna say good, but any final big thoughts? We'll end the recording, but we'll keep the discussion going.
I can spoil stuff, right?
Yeah, you can spoil stuff. So we can spoil stuff.
All right. The only dumb thing was they changed Thanos' motives slightly, and I think that might have kind of messed with some things because in the comics, Thanos' motives is that he is in love with Death, the physical embodiment of death, right?
Yes.
So the reason he gets the stones and all that is to literally impress Death, right? So when he gets the stones, he snaps his finger, and it's not like this big epic snap like they made it in the movies. When his gauntlet burns out and stuff. It's literally like you're just snapping, and it's easy.
Yeah.
It's not like this big thing is an instant. It's an instantaneous thing. It's not this emotional dragged out thing. It's an instantaneous thing. And he didn't impress Lady Death, and Lady Death basically kind of shrugged him off, and he basically brought everything back right after that, right? Yeah, but in the comics, is that for him to cause balance for him, because not enough resources to go around, too many mouths to feed, things of that nature, right?
Yeah.
There's so many other things he can do to solve that problem besides killing half the people.
Yeah, and another thing about that one is where with the scene where we saw everyone just disintegrating and stuff like that, it was random selection. At first it seemed like, I don't know, like at first I don't know if you had this feeling, but at first it felt like only specific people were surviving.
I mean, but all the original, all the Phase 1 original title characters are alive.
Yeah, but like I was surprised. At first I thought it was like, okay, people who landed hits on him or people who killed X amount of, henchmen or minions or whatever those monsters were called. And then I realized it was more random selection because earlier on in the movie he was like, okay, this is like, I'll solve it by random selection. It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor. Because, dude...
You're gonna go.
Huh?
You're just gonna die, yeah.
Yeah. And then, what was I going to say? I mean, in the post-credits scene where you had Samuel Jackson, I totally forgot his character's name, which I thought it was...
Maria.
Yeah, when he was like, mother, I was like, they had to throw that in. But I didn't expect him to disappear.
Yeah.
I didn't either.
If I was Thanos, forget that random selection stuff. I'm definitely killing most of the Avengers. Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah,
that's
agreed.
My man's gotta go. But that's the whole thing about it is like, at this point, I feel like it's super lazy. So hopefully in Infinity Wars 2, they kind of talk to Thanos, and like kind of find out like why did Thanos actually do it? Maybe not. But it seems like he genuinely was looking for balance. But you can make more plans. You can make more resources. You have the Mind Stone and the Soul Stone. You can change people fundamentally.
Yeah.
At their core, you can make things different. You can make it where people can all live together. You have one of the strongest weapons. Well, I think in the cinematic universe is the strongest thing. but like top 5 strongest individual thing in the Marvel universe flat out.
Yeah, you can legit change anything.
Yeah, like legit change anything. Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet is like top 5 most powerful thing thing in the Marvel universe.
It's so powerful. Even people that are good, like, it's too powerful for them.
Yeah, I mean, like the Infinite Tribunal. I think it's the Infinite Tribunal. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but Eternal Tribunal. He's more powerful than Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet because and then the one above all for sure, and I think maybe a couple other characters, but for sure them two are easily more powerful than Thanos. We can't do nothing with him, but for the most part, he can do whatever he wants. He's acting wild 5-year-old with it. He's not being creative at all. He's just not really 5-year-old, like old man, I guess. He's just not being creative at all with it. I mean, there's so much you can do.
Yeah.
Like, he has a space zone. He can be anywhere at once, not just teleporting. Anywhere at once.
Yeah, that's true. That I'm gonna end the recording here. So let me do the outro real quick, and then I'm gonna bring up a topic. So for those who are watching just a review, thank you so much for tuning in. Let us know your comments let us know your thoughts and comments and stuff like that in the comments below. Check the description for social media, donations, everything you can help us with. To get the gang back together as soon as possible and help us progress to where we want to be as a channel and whole. But just to warn you guys, I'm not ending the live stream. I'm just ending a cut of the live stream. So keep the live stream going. We're not ending the live stream yet. So thank you guys again for watching, and we'll see you in the live stream. So this is incentive to join our live discussions. Bye, everyone. Okay. My one thing I wanted to ask you guys was, what did Thanos mean when he was like, I turned my back on my destiny or something like that? It was something along those lines, and he was like, he was basically when he sacrificed his stepdaughter, he was like, I turned my back against it, but I'm not gonna do it again.
I think he was talking about whenever he was on Titan, and he basically let the council, stop him from doing what he wanted to do. I'm not 100% sure, but
yeah. But that's something they might touch up in the second movie, because you gotta admit they mentioned it for a reason. Because theoretically speaking, anyone who's like, it feels like those watching the movies don't have a background of it, so
yeah. That's the point.
Yeah, that's the point. So obviously they would mention that for a reason, and that's kind of why I'm like, well, what is it exactly? So if you guys don't know, I don't know either.
Also, I mean, this theory, but not really a theory, but kind of a theory. Mm-hmm. I kind of talked about it before when we were talking about, before Black Panther came out and where potentially the Soul Stone could be at.
Yeah.
Well, in the Soul Stone, one of the first things about the Soul Stone, it could definitely change, inanimate objects to life. That's kind of one of the cool things about it. But I was gonna say, one thing about Soul Stone is that inside the Soul Stone, it has something called Soul World, Soul Realm.
Yeah,
Soul World.
Yeah.
And I think Gamora is there. I don't think she's dead.
You think so?
Yeah.
Well,
I think Gamora is there.
She's confirmed to be in Guardians 3. Like, the director was like, yeah, I want her more focused on, like, I don't want Quill to be the focus on in Avengers 3. I want it to be more on her. So we know she's going to come back.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, she definitely. So, I mean, all of them coming back. I mean, Homecoming 2, Spider-Man, Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's coming out before the Avengers movie, right?
I'm not sure. It might be.
It'll be close because you have Captain Marvel set to probably come out around the time Black Panther did last year, or this year. So if you think about it, the way, and this kind of brings up my next point with the cinematic universe movies coming out. You've got Ant-Man and the Wasp coming out, and then you have Captain Marvel, and then Avengers 3 or Avengers 4 specifically coming out like this time next year. So you have those X amount of movies to come out beforehand, if that makes sense. So I think
for sure.
The second Homecoming might come out after, because Ant-Man and the Wasp are clearly not in this movie. Captain Marvel will come out before Avengers 4. Um, and then Adam Warlock as well is confirmed for Guardians 3 and was confirmed in Guardians 2 during the mid-credit scene.
Yeah, and Adam Warlock definitely is going to be a problem in Infinity War too.
Oh,
because in the comics, Adam Warlock just wails on Thanos all the time.
Yeah. So basically everyone who died will be back anyways, just for the sequels of the movies. But yeah. Oh, speaking of which, who was the guardian of the Soul Stone? Because it looked like Darth Maul for a split second.
It's Red Skull.
Is that who it was? Okay.
Yeah. That's Red Skull. But what I was gonna say, Adam Warlock has like the longest history with the Soul Stone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the comics, he always has it most of the time. Has the longest history with the Soul Stone. So I think whenever they beat down Thanos, he's probably gonna give the Mind Stone back to Vision. I don't know what's gonna happen with the Tesseract. I don't know what's gonna happen with the rest of them. But he's probably gonna take the Soul Stone for himself.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably gonna take the Soul Stone for himself. So Spider-Man: Homecoming is coming out July 5th, 2019.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I can't wait for that movie.
Which is after the Untitled Avengers film.
Yeah, so that makes sense. So he'll come back in that movie. Wait, when did the Red Skull get the Soul Stone, or when did he try and acquire it?
I'm talking about Adam Warlock and the Soul Stone.
No. I'm talking about Red Skull.
Oh, what happened was what he explained is that's where Soul Stone that's where Soul Stone was kept at. He didn't do that. What happened was I think the Tesseract, which is a space stone,
took him there.
It teleported him there, and basically made him the guardian of the Soul Stone.
Okay, that makes sense. And the Tesseract, and that happened in the first Avenger?
Yeah, that happened in the first Avenger whenever he disappeared.
Okay, that makes sense. Because I don't know if I think I've watched it, but I don't know if I watched all of it or just forgot completely. But that makes sense.
You just need to bring the Punisher. Kill everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, like have you seen that one comic? I don't know if it's like, I don't know, call it canon or whatever, but it's like the Punisher, he killed everybody on Earth, including all the Avengers. And then,
not canon.
Yeah, and then he killed himself.
Yes, that happened. If anybody I want to see Jessica Jones in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. But what I was gonna say, because I definitely have to go soon because I gotta get up and work.
Yeah.
Like 7.5 hours, something like that. But what I was gonna say, my favorite scene that whole movie was whenever they opened the barrier around Wakanda, that little section of the barrier.
That was cool.
And they had like those things running at them, and Black Panther and Captain America are just out in front of the crowd, just taking this rolling, and then they jump into the fight. That was my favorite scene, probably.
Yeah.
My favorite was.
Go ahead.
My favorite was when they were on the bus, and like you could tell like Peter or like Tom Holland, but his like spidey senses went off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that was sick. I mean, because I'm just like a super big Spider-Man fanboy, so.
Yeah, it was pretty dope. And then they had Stan Lee, the driver, who's like, "What? You've never seen an alien spaceship before?"
I love Stan Lee, dude. He seems like such a nice guy.
He's funny. I've watched some interviews with him. He's really funny. There's one thing I wanted to mention. Even at the end of the movie, Captain America and Iron Man still have not talked yet.
I didn't even notice that.
Crazy things happen.
Yeah, it was like we're not on speaking terms, and he was about to make the phone call, but then he never did. So I'm ready to see the next movie when they finally interact again.
That combo.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Also, on the ending note, I was gonna say, Thanos is like flunkies, like his, Thanos is flunkies or whatever.
Yeah.
They're called the Black Order.
Mm-hmm.
Who was your favorite member of the Black Order?
Oh, favorite character of the. That's actually tough.
They only said one guy's name. They only said one guy's name.
I know them because you told them to me. I know Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw, Call Obsidian.
Who's the chick again? The chick was pretty dope, actually. She could fight.
I think I might be wrong. I think she's super giant. I might be wrong though. Or she's inspired, or super giant inspired her.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the Ebony Maw's powers were just unbelievable. I was like, what the heck?
Honestly, my favorite character is probably Call Obsidian. Call Obsidian was the guy that was basically giving Vision the business the whole time.
Yeah, yeah.
And his literally his power is that as long as he's holding his spirit, he can't die.
Oh, okay. That's interesting. Didn't he get killed by his own spear, though?
Yeah, see, that makes no sense. He shouldn't have died.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I would say I don't know what my favorite part was, to be honest with you. Oh man, I will say when Peter Quill. Okay, this will be my final thought. I knew Peter Quill was gonna overreact because I was like, oh no, she died. What happens when he finds out?
He didn't overreact.
Oh my goodness.
He should have kind of sure, but like, I can't get mad at that man for. I mean, Peter Quill is just he is, and and he loved Glamore, So whenever he basically found out that she's gone, I mean, yes, I would. Yeah, like I probably would have kept it in, but I understood why he did it.
Exactly. I was like, oh my god. And they had him, like, Peter had the gauntlet off. He had it off by fingertips. Mm-hmm. Oh, man. Oh, yeah. Batista, he was just like, how long have you been there? An hour. What?
Yeah, he's a funny character. I like the way they play him.
Mm-hmm.
Or they write his script.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. Oh yeah, Tony, dude. Ah man, Iron Man. That whole. It was just such a good movie. Like all the little one-liners. I like it. But I will say, just to kind of wrap things up, I will say I'm very interested to see how they implement Captain Marvel and see how she can help defeat him, and how all that goes.
I mean, just really quick, Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, like on normal levels, is probably like right under Thor when it comes to being this dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, even though Thor is a little bit weaker in the cinematic universe than he is in comic books, and Hawk is a lot weaker, by the way. But Captain Marvel.
Wait, who's a lot weaker? You said.
The Hawk.
Oh yeah, yeah.
The Hawk is a lot weaker than he in the comic. I mean, in the movie than he is in comics. But what I was gonna say, yeah, Captain Marvel was an issue for real. She can absorb energy. She can fly. Her strength. She's strong enough to hurt Savage Hawk in the comics. She's definitely smart. Yeah, real smart. Used to be a pilot. Shield operative, CIA operative, Air Force, all that. Very dangerous character. Definitely is going to be a help. But Adam Warlock's definitely going to be the biggest help because Adam Warlock at his strongest can murder like the whole Avengers team. So, including Vision and all of them, like in Thor, all of them get whacked.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely an issue. But Captain Marvel, I'm ready for that movie because Brie Larson is playing her. Brie Larson's kind of dope.
Yeah, agreed. Anime, to answer your question, you just say they won't. One of them will disappear. Oh yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is supposed to take place before the events of Infinity War. So I don't think one of them will disappear.
I don't know. Hopefully not.
Yeah, but with that being said, do you guys have any final thoughts or questions? Chat, we'll give you guys a second. Anime, you just say, well, to answer your question, anime, you just say different comics. That's all you got to say. And then, so yeah, chat, any final questions, comments, whatever. You two, do you have any final stories, thoughts, questions, whatever?
Nope, I'm good. I'm just ready to backflip into my bed.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
I'm ready to go to sleep, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess
Me, anime. We're definitely gonna we're gonna talk to you about a little bit of stuff we read for your story later on.
Yeah, that'll be another time. Um,
Yeah, probably like Tuesday, like whenever I come down Tuesday or Wednesday. Because graduation for Limestone is coming up this weekend. I'm off those 2 days.
yep. Um, Oh, I will say, okay, my final thought was I was satisfied with the end of the movie, and I do agree with Xanax on supporting Thanos if Captain America is next. And I do want to say, I like how, I forgot to mention this earlier, but I like how I do like, I know they portrayed him differently than the comics, but they still portrayed him in a way where you can see him as the antagonist as he believes what he's doing is right. I like that
Yeah,
portrayal.
he definitely was a likable character. He definitely was understandable.
Hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like in the end logic of what he was doing was like really stupid, but everything else was good.
Yeah, because the way you explained it was he can literally do anything in the universe with the stones.
Like,
Why is he destroying people?
I mean, even though in like the movie they showed like either he's stupid or he just or the guy looks limited, but in the comics, like he can just do what he wants. And the only time, like most of the time, he just stops. Like most of the time, like the first time he got the gauntlet and he actually wiped out half the universe, like he literally just brought it back like right afterwards, like because he
Hmm.
talked to death and all that, and he brought it back and scattered the stones away and basically went back in the corner to salt.
Yeah, I know it did say
So
oh, Nebula's the villain in Avengers 4. Interesting. I know it did say at the end of the end credit scene it said that Thanos will be back though. It said Thanos will return. So I think that's going to be cool. Um,
yeah,
I will say this will be my final statement. I had to pee so bad when
be yourself.
during that movie. It was so long, and of course, you know me drinking water
Be
all
yourself.
day. I was holding it. It was bad,
No, that's your fault. You should have hydrated before. You should treat it like you treat a race.
dude. I went to the bathroom twice before the movie started, and I was drinking water during the movie, and that didn't help. But oh well.
That's how I treat car rides. Like whenever I go up to Anderson or like Gaffney or whatever,
Hmm.
well, I make sure I'm like real hydrated right before, and then I make sure I pee all the water out right before I get in the car. So I'm good. I'm good. And like I don't even start drinking water until like I'm like an hour out.
Yeah, that's not too bad at all. But anyways, guys, just hang on to the Discord real quick. I'm gonna end the stream, and then we'll just say we'll just talk for a second after. Did you shout during the movie?
Talk for a
Heck
second.
no.
I'm about to die.
Yeah. But anyways, guys, thank you for tuning into the podcast. I'll do another one next week. I have a different guest. So I'm gonna start getting these things weekly again. So thank you everyone for tuning into the podcast, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye everyone. I'm waving like it's like recording.